they approached us. We only faced them once, yay, and they disappeared because they are cowards.
Season, you now campaign against a man who is fairly popular in South Africa. What do you think the EFF's chances are coming back after the election, whether it be an early election, whether it be 2019? What is the EFF's projection for your representation in Parliament with a man as Cyril Ramaphosa as ANC candidate?
No, but you're misguided when you say Ramaphosa is popular, because Ramaphosa was Zuma's deputy, and Ramaphosa lost the metros, Joburg, Tshwane, Ekurhuleni. Where was the popularity of Ramaphosa? Was it still hiding somewhere? It only came out now. So what you are saying is not science. You're not talking science. You're talking an imagination. So he is not a popular as you want to project him. And that's your problem as the media. The ANC lost key metros with Ramaphosa being the deputy president, because in the ANC is a collective leadership. So Ramaphosa is a walkover, man. Ramaphosa has got no credentials. Ramaphosa has got no constituency, by the way. There is no village which can stop and say Malema is attacking Ramaphosa, therefore we're going to respond in defense of Ramaphosa. There's no such a thing. He doesn't have a constituency, he doesn't have credentials, he doesn't have any good backing, even from within the ANC. Let's put science again to what you are saying. Scientifically, it has been proven that he's also not that popular in the ANC because he won with 2%. So every time you speak ENCA, use science, not emotions. Thank you.
So I don't have a problem answering a question of a journalist, a proper journalist, not a rogue element. Huh? No, not a rogue element, not embedded journalism. That's how Pravin thrives. You remember when he dissolved Limpopo, he put journalists in a bus, went to address them in Limpopo, and then from them put them in a bus, brought them back. When he wanted to answer, there were no journalists. They are driven in a luxury bus. That's how embedded journalism works. One side of the story, you disappear. And he thinks we don't know how you... Pravin has made a lot of corporate suffer. This generation, was taken a conscious decision to fight him. He must take a decision to end his tendencies, or else we're fighting him to the grave until we die. If it means prison, fighting Pravin, let's go to prison. But we're not going to succumb to Pravin. He has been doing this nonsense for far too long. Those ANC cowards are scared of him. UDF tags, those cowards are scared of him. They're scared of Pravin. We took a decision not to be scared of Pravin and to take him on. You can defend him anyhow you want, but the guy is leading a state capture in South Africa. And the ANC people can't do anything, including COSATU. Why? Pravin has got everything on them through the rogue unit. We asked Pravin a question. Did Werksman pay your accommodation and flights in London when you went to fundraise for Cyril Ramaphosa? Till today he has not answered that question. We are in Parliament, we ask ministers questions, they don't answer questions, you can't do anything. That is trauma enough for you. When it comes to Parliament, we stop him from talking because he's not answering our questions. You say EFF is disrupting. But we are there for them to answer questions. And when they don't answer questions, we have to apply different methods now.
To destroy the EFF, you failed. Karima Brown failed. The whole South African media failed. Ranjeni Munsami failed. They've all failed. Stratcom failed. We defeated them. We defeated them. The most difficult campaign, we ran it successfully. Where are we now? We are still here. We are standing much, much better and more stronger. The EFF is growing.
Now, let's teach you. You know, Samke, I like it because
when you speak, you are so emphatic, and then you take a poster that suggests you've got a point, even when you don't have a point. you take a poster that, and that time you're not saying anything, you see. So let me show you why you are not saying anything. EFF, and when the judge says, but the man is responding to Kletam, the man just got lost. It was like his Zuma during the commission looking for pages. Which page is where? So you could see that there is really a confusion in the camp of the enemy. And we are more than happy that the loudmouths have come to expose themselves here. There's nothing that this court will find against the EFF. And the problem we have today in South Africa is that those with money want to suppress political speech. And we must guard against that. Because in the absence of the political speech, there is no opposition party. Opposition parties survive through political speech. We can't build our DP houses, we don't have budget. We can't build roads and say to people, this is what we have done. The least we can do for our people is to speak on their behalf. We are in court permanently because the enemy agents have chosen the terrain of the struggle. They've moved from the picket lines and brought the revolution into the courts because they know that at the picket lines they will not win against us. And they want to use the money they have to suppress those they disagree with politically. SANEF can afford the money. George Soros has got the money and is feeding them.
And you must appreciate that. You are a journalist here. You are not the owner of newsroom. When we talk about newsroom, you are just an employee. When we say Sunday Times,
said here that the EFF says they must confess. The EFF doesn't make the allegation. It says to them, you either confess, and not only them, including the unidentified and unnamed sources which worked for Stratcom. We never said they are Stratcom. We said they must confess their sins. And if they are not working for Stratcom, why are they complaining? What all we're saying is that if the shoe fit, wear it. And we're unshaken about that.
But then you look at what Thandeka has done. She has been to every state security agency. She has to ask for files, to ask for records, everything she could lay her hands on. And what she has since found is not only did Stratcom actually follow her, right? But that she even goes on to dare anyone with information to the contrary to say they must come forward.
So where do we get in? Singana Pitin.
You apologize for having said...
You must go around shopping for information that like she did.
No, but then...
We're not involved in that. We never said she's Stratcom.
You mentioned her by name.
Because Winnie mentioned her. Winnie mentioned her. Winnie mentions her.
But she doesn't say that she was
and
part
we are
of
not
Stratcom.
saying that. We are saying if she indeed is a Stratcom, she must confess. We are not saying that. And she has done exactly what we have asked her to do. She has gone to all different houses to shop for information that clears her name. I think that closes the matter. We never took any platform and said she was a Stratcom member.
Okay, let's
We're saying Mama mentions the two. And Mama says there were many others. And we're calling upon the two and the rest of unidentified to confess if indeed they've worked for Stratcom.
Okay, let's go back to that tweet that your party...
For Winnie, I will do everything. I did that when she was alive, and I will do that even now. I wish I did that.
The video footage is correct.
I wish I assaulted him. Now that is a real issue. I wish I did a real thing, proper. I regret not doing it. I should have done it so that I deal with real stuff. Me, I'm not scared. But uniform or no uniform, Afrikaner or no Afrikaner, white or pink, I deal with you decisively. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
There are no tensions in South Africa. There are tensions in France. There's burning in France. There's never been an SABC that left here and went to France and asked your president what is he going to do with tensions in France. Solve your tensions in France and stop imagining tensions in South Africa. There are no tensions here. You are living an imaginary life. You are imagining things. There are no tensions here. Which tensions? You come here, you are dreaming during the day. There are tensions. There are no tensions in South Africa. A white journalist called me pussy in Pretoria there. All white journalists and all white leading personalities came in defense of that guy. But if it was you who had said to Helen Zille the same way, the black people would have joined Helen Zille and them to get you fired and arrested. But when it comes to the descendants of Jan van Riebeeck, they unite. DJ Fresh is fired for saying such words. Many other black journalists and radio people were fired for saying almost the same thing. This one says the same thing. He doesn't apologize. The organization apologizes on his behalf. And black people see nothing wrong. Don't be patient with them. We ought to tell them they are fools. But we must not write them off because we are in the business of liberating the mind. The oppressor is staying in the position of their mind. And our struggle is to go and fetch the brain of the 702 blacks. We're going to fetch it and come and restore it one by one. We will get it. We will get it. Don't worry. Comrades, when it comes to whiteness, when it comes to white supremacy, they unite. But when it comes to black people, black consciousness, we do not unite. Even on obvious things. But what was he doing? Whites are not like that. You know, black people, they are provocative. He must have done something wrong. So, comrades, we must unite.
Absolute rubbish, and there's nothing new about the Daily Maverick allegations. I think when she goes dry, she looks for something that she's not reported about in the statements she found, and then she re-repeat the same story. So let's take the Sundown House, for instance. She wrote about it from the beginning and even implicated Dali Mpofu in the Sundown House. We responded to it. What is there to respond again? It's not new. I'm not using Mauna's money. Mauna never received money from VBS. She doesn't say that herself. Mauna received money from Sgamega. And Sgamega is not VBS. And therefore Mauna never got any money from VBS. And therefore Mauna is run by a cousin. My cousin, let's take Durban July for instance. 500,000 spent at Durban July. And then it is alleged spent by me. But it's not true. My brother runs a marquee at Durban July. So they buy a marquee at Durban July. They sell a corporate ticket at 70,000 per ticket. And then they sell alcohol, they sell food in that thing, and they hire DJs. They make people pay, they make money. So it's not like someone went to eat 500,000 at the Durban July. They put that money, remain the same. Now, there is nothing negative to write about your fundraiser story. Or no, Daily Maverick is banned, but not now. It has always been. Our relationship with Daily Maverick is a relationship we had with ANN7.